Justin, I'm concerned about the bullying at Pocahontas County High School. You know, I taught, you may not realize, but I taught up there for several years. So I know a lot about what, you know, what I'm thinking, you know. Yeah. I'm not at all surprised. What's happened to you?
Well, it started at the beginning of the year. It started out as just name calling.
Yeah.
And every time I turn around, they'd be there, and I'd go to the principal, and they wouldn't do anything about it at first, and then it ended up turning into me being slammed into
So they started getting physical with you? Okay.
Me getting sent to a locker, and then sexual assault.
Yeah.
His wrist was broke, and I called the school. And Mr. Sanders wasn't there that day, or he was somewhere, I don't know, but Mr. Nicely, the secretary thought she had me on hold, and she didn't.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and she said...
Live mic, they call that.
Yeah, and she said, Miss Gibson's on the phone, wants to talk to you. And he said, I don't feel like listening to her fucking shit today.
Huh.
So she gets back on the phone. And she said, oh, he's not in office right now.
Oh, so you heard her talking to him, and you heard him make a statement.
Mm-hmm. And she said, he's at lunch. And I said, that's not funny. I just heard him say he don't feel like listening to my shit today. She said, hold on 1 minute.
So he was there.
He was there automatically, yes. And he said, well, it wasn't that big of a slam. And I said, funny, my son's wrist is broke. Well, he must have just barely hit the locker combination or something. And I said, my son's, the boy's kicked out for 5 days, so it's taken care of.
Now that's the boy that broke his wrist.
Yeah. And I'd already been there to the high school over him being bullied. And this was supposed to have been taken care of.
So this wasn't a surprise?
No. Not at all. I mean, every time I'd send him back to school, something would happen to him. Every time. Now they're trying to get him for truancy.
And of course that means trying to get you for truancy. Right? Are they threatening to put you in jail?
No. They're just threatening him.
Because you're 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I guess where the other two kids go to school every day, I don't know. Because I have 2 other children.
So if I got this right, you're essentially afraid to go to school for fear of being bullied.
Yeah.
By these people.
And
are these it's okay. Are these the same people that sexually assaulted you?
One of them, yes.
One of them is. And that was the one was kicked out?
No, he was sent to Mountaineer Challenge Academy, but he's out now.
Oh, okay. The Mountaineer Challenge Academy.
Sure.
I know about that.
Go
That's a very interesting place. It's kind of like a boot camp, right?
Yeah.
So he was there for a while, but did it start back up, or were you weren't there? You haven't given him a chance
to start back.
I haven't been back for at least 2-3 months.
Okay. So.
But like my doctor over at Seneca, Dr. Jewell, he wrote a thing for me to be homebound.
Right.
But the Board of Education has been dragging their feet, and then when Mom was working over at Subway, she'd always ask Miss Bloor, the attendance director or whatever, she'd keep asking her, at least once a week, have you found someone for my son yet? Have you found someone for my son yet? Well, she's the one that filed the papers for me to be facing truancy charges.
So did at some point she tell you that they would try to get you a homebound teacher?
That was when Seneca filled out the papers. I took them over there and dropped them off. And then every time I call over there, it's, oh, we haven't found one yet. And I don't know who I talk to every time. But
now this is the school system saying that?
Yes.
Well, they just hired some homebound people just the other day. And in fact, another boy that I've been working with is getting a homebound person. And it looks to me like you deserve a homebound teacher. If a person's afraid to go to school for being bullied. Well, now on this incident with, there were 3 boys involved. I don't need to know their names, but there were 3 boys involved in that, right? 2 of them sort of guarded the place.
Oh, there was 2.
Okay.
One at the door, and one doing the sexual assault.
How are you doing?
No, not bad. How you been?
Good. After that happened, did you report it to whom did you report it?
No, because they told me not to tell anyone or else, and then I kind of kept it in for a while.
Who was that? That was the boys. They didn't want anybody to know it.
And then I ended up having a seizure at home, and it messed up my memory a little bit. Like,
Right.
I knew it happened, I just couldn't remember when it happened. Like, I could still swear to this day that the week it happened, it was on that Monday, but people were saying that he wasn't at school that day.
Mm-hmm.
But I can still swear up and down that it is. But, I told one of my closest friends, and they told me I needed to tell my mom and contact the law, which we did. And then, one of the officers came down. He talked to me, went back with the video camera, came back, told me I was a liar. Told me that...
So they had video, well this occurred in the bathroom or outside in the hallway?
In the bathroom, that's what I'm saying, which they couldn't catch it on camera.
Right, that's right. So they're saying that they had video of the bathroom.
No, they said they couldn't catch it on video.
Oh, they couldn't.
So they can't do anything about it.
No, I don't think they possibly can have video in the bathroom.
No, they can't.
Of course, these boys would have known this, wouldn't they? But would not... You were captured, if you will, in the hallway, right?
No, it started out like I went to the bathroom and he was in there and I just tried to ignore him and he started, like I just like turned the other cheek and he called me something and I just told him to just leave me alone. And then he said why and some other crap, and then it turned into a big argument, and then that's whenever he grabbed me by the hair and then started the sexual assault.
Yeah. Did anybody else see that happen?
No.
So it was he and you were the only two people in there.
And we understood that there was going to be a lie detector test, but I told AG I was still willing to take it. But he said, well, there's no point in doing it if you lied, and I didn't.
So they're just simply saying you lied about the incident. And they have no videotape to say that you did or didn't.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Mommy didn't like that too well.
No.
I'd say you didn't.
Especially when I have cops coming to me at work because he's been on suicide hotlines, and CPS called me worried about him because she's heard about him thinking about suicide. That's why they just went ahead and wrote the note for him to be homebound. Because
Right.
it wasn't his life in general, it was the situation at school.
But you had called a suicide hotline at one point.
I messaged them online. I messaged them online.
So the other friend that I have, he called. He made the statement somehow about that he might kill himself, and they hauled him off to a mental hospital.
The thing that saved him from that was Dr. Jewell said he wasn't like thinking about suicide in general, like life in general was causing him that.
Right.
It
It's
was
the school.
school situation that was in order to keep me and his brother and sister out of trouble for him not going to school. He was thinking about just ending his life so he didn't have to deal with it without getting the rest of us in trouble.
Okay. Well, it might be explained why they're not trying to attack you in the process. You know, the thing that gets me, Justin, is that it's pretty obvious here that you have notified the school of the incident. Also, they have recognized that you should have a homebound instructor, but they haven't provided it. And we're going on, what, 2 or 3 months?
And January 16th made 43 days he was absent.
43 days. And so their solution is not to provide a homebound instructor, but to in fact take him before the court.
Yeah, and the judge had no idea, nothing. The judge thought he was just an unruly teenager who just refused to go to school.
But no, in reality, he's a teenager who's afraid to go to school.
Yeah, because he wants to go to school. That's where his friends are. He likes school. He's planning on going back next year when them boys are gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the judge has no idea. The judge just sees it as, hey, you know, paperwork in front of him, this kid. And the thing is, I talked to Janet Benoit about it when I worked Subway. I was talking to her, just talking at work, and she had went and talked to the prosecutor about it. But yet when we went in front of the judge, the prosecutor even made it sound like, you know, hey, he's missed 43 days, there ain't no reason to give him time to, you know, try to do anything, you know, just blew it off like nothing. And she has been made aware of the situation too.
So the prosecutor is aware of the problem. And you think the problem would be, well, definitely the problem of contact with the boys would be solved if you, if they will provide the homebound instructor.
Yes.
That sounds like that would be the best route to me.
Yeah, that's all we want, at least to finish off the school year.
Right.
So that way I don't fail, and that way I ain't got to put up with them.
What year are you?
2015.
He's a freshman.
Okay, so you're still considered a freshman. You're in your freshman year. Have you failed any years?
Never.
Huh.
He's always had good grades.
Honor roll all the time, but this year I have been failing because of all this bullying.
Even before I quit sending him to school, his grades were horrible. He'd have to sit at lunchtime with one of the teachers.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't eat school. I wouldn't eat lunch at school. I'd go lockers by the library, and I'd sit with Deputy Cole's wife, and where she was a sub teacher up there, and I'd sit with her.
Jessica.
Yes. All day, every day.
Well, there's a lot.